Hello, everyone. Thanks so much for joining us on Global News at noon. I'm Brittany Rosen.
As you mentioned, a group of 8 teenage girls, some of them as young as 13 years old, swarming and then stabbing a 59-year-old victim to death.
Alan, well, this is a situation that could happen to absolutely anyone. Imagine this. You drive to your local Walmart. We're here at the one in Rexdale. You park in this very busy public parking lot. You step foot out of the vehicle. And all of a sudden, you're approached by a number of armed, aggressive individuals. They rob you, they assault you, you're knocked to the ground as they attempt to steal your vehicle. We'll begin in Ontario, where we are learning more about the young police officer shot and killed while responding to a call. The commissioner of the Ontario Provincial Police say the officer was ambushed by 2 suspects. Our Fraser Snowden joins us now from the newsroom. Fraser, good morning to you. We're hearing so many stories about the 28-year-old constable who only ever dreamed of becoming a police officer.
And let me show you, this is the result. You can see someone's bumper on the road. This comes after one car spun off, it was going over the speed limit and hit 6 parked cars along Parkside. Some of those cars you can see are being towed right here. In terms of official numbers, nothing has been confirmed. I've been seeing reports that the convoy involves roughly 50,000 truckers, but we are expecting to see an even larger presence when the truckers roll up in Ottawa in a couple of days.
Officers were called to the scene around 8:30 p.m. and sources tell Global News that they were initially called here to execute a search warrant at a home on Shenley Road. But when they arrived, the suspect began shooting at officers and then they barricaded themselves inside the home. Television viewers, fellow journalists, and millions of others around the world are mourning the loss of TV pioneer Barbara Walters. Walters died late Friday at the age of 93. Her career spanned more than 60 years. She interviewed some of the most famous people in the world and was known for asking the tough questions. Jennifer Johnson looks back at Barbara Walters' extraordinary career.
Okay, wish me luck, Candace.
Stand up on the go.
Okay. All right. Stand here.
Stand up.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. We're going in.
Take a big jump.
With time of the essence, investigators released photos of the vehicle believed to be involved and critical information about the investigation.
Alyssa Denny says she was walking here along the Martin Goodman Trail, which is in close proximity to Budweiser Stage, which is just a short distance away from me. And that's where she was headed to see the Keith Urban concert last Saturday, but she never ended up making it there.
Tracy, well, if you've met someone new during this pandemic, you've probably found yourself doing that awkward dance of trying to gauge what the other person is comfortable with.
With these temperatures feeling closer to 40 degrees with the Humidex, I just couldn't help myself. I had to get into this nice cool water here at the Scarborough Bluffs. Well, I'm able to do so very easily by walking through the empty lanes of this bike share rack. However, I'm a healthy person, I'm an able-bodied person, and the same can't be said for if you're living with a disability or if you're part of the elderly population. You're gonna have to likely go around this unit, and there are a couple of problems with that. If you try and go around from this side, you're going to see that there's not a lot of space between this wooden banner and this bike share unit.
There's this horrible noise, and I think it might be an anti-homelessness device.
Homeless advocate Christine Thornton says after walking through this area only briefly Thursday morning, her ears are still recovering from that ear-splitting sound.
I went under there for maybe a minute, and yeah, it's my ears are hurting. My own voice is painful to me.
Curious to see where the shrill noise was coming from, she ventured closer, but immediately regretted it.
This is not a deterrent. This is hurting people.
Now, we're wearing ear protection because as soon as you walk down that hill and underneath this bridge, the sound is just piercing. You can see from the debris underneath the bridge, these are signs that people would once hang out here or take shelter, but that is merely impossible with that speaker blasting such an awful noise. Thornton says she believes the noise is coming from a mosquito anti-loitering sound device and that it has been going off for several months. Not to mention in an area with playgrounds and residential buildings nearby.
This has been installed as a misguided attempt to protect the public from a false fear of homeless people. This fear that we have of homeless people is rooted in stigma.
The city has not confirmed what the device is or its purpose, but it could be Thornton's assumption is correct, considering that one manufacturer of such a device advertises this use directly on its website, saying loiterers and homeless people can make public spaces unsafe, unclean, and scary, and that the technology can be used for the purpose of deterring them. In 2017, similar devices were being used in a downtown Toronto parkette to deter crime and loitering. As for Thornton, she says it's demeaning that the city would consider a measure like this.
I can't describe to you how upsetting it is to me that they would actively try to prohibit a lawful gathering in anticipation of crime.
Brittany Rosen, Global News.
Thousands of students here are calling on the university to do more to address what they're calling a culture problem. I got my shades on. The weather is scorching. Overall, it seems like the perfect day to jump right into that water. But you know what? I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to even dip my toes in, and neither should you, because there are some major red flags here at Woodbine Beach, literally and figuratively. People are asking so many questions about what took place earlier today, but perhaps the biggest, how did a person riding a bicycle here on the Gardiner Expressway manage to pull a 70-year-old woman from her car? Celebrations are far from over. We are going to see a lot more of this type of excitement on Sunday for the Pride Parade. Many of these youth and staff excited to see what Banton will do out on the court tonight, and they even have a personal message for Delano. What do you guys want to say to him?
We're proud of you, Delano!
Well, that does it for us here at Global News. Thanks so much for watching. For the latest news and information, you can log on anytime to globalnews.ca or stream us on the Global TV app. Once again, a very happy new year to you and your family. Take care.